Good morning, campers. Let's do a reading for a beautiful divine collective. I'm feeling a specific divine collective, and I'm feeling divine masculine, divine feminine, right? But let's see where this goes. I feel that we're going to do your energy and your masculine's energy, but I want to start from what's been in your energy recently. I want to do these, and I think I want to do these as well. Let's see. Let's do 4 of these. What's been in your energy recently? What's been going on for this collective? What do you need to release? What do you need to release? So maybe something has been brought to your attention, a pattern I'm hearing, that's something that still needs to be released. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. I think we had a full moon in Libra. Was it before the one in we had now? Now it was in Taurus. I think in the past few months we had a full moon in Libra. Maybe it's a detail for some of you. That's something you can check that when that was. But I feel like maybe something happened in that moment, or something was initiated. Look at the bigger picture. Sagittarius. We have 2 full moons, so conclusions, culminations, one more. Adjustments are required. I feel like something personal issue reaches resolution. I feel like something for this collective needs to be released. Maybe I'm looking at this, look at the bigger picture and win-win outcome. So maybe there are still situations I'm hearing where when you can be a little petty, when you can be a little push it your way. I'm seeing 5 of Swords as well. So situations when you, instead of just let go, allow win-win, not all battles are to be won. Life isn't really, you guys, people who are truly mature, who are truly centered, who are truly spiritual, we don't look at life as a game. Who wins, who loses, who has the final say, who is the winner of this situation. It doesn't matter. As long as you learn, you're always the winner. It doesn't matter. We don't play games in love, in relationships, in friendships, in work, family. It doesn't matter. We don't play games. We couldn't care less. You need a bigger picture. There's something that needs to be adjusted. I want to do 4 for emotions as well. Ideation. Stop. Consciousness. 2 more. Balance and sadness. I'm hearing with that stop, I'm mystery. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to always, every time, understand why is something happening. It's a high level of consciousness, you guys, to be honest, because when we start this journey for many, many years, we try to, some people until the very end, we try to find a meaning in every situation. What's the lesson in it for me? Why is this happening? I need to understand this. We become obsessed with analyzing everything and understanding everything. But the moment comes when we would have expanded our consciousness enough, right, to understand that life is just happening. Life just flows through us. Sometimes we don't have to know why we feel the way we feel. Sometimes we don't have to understand why things are happening. And it's a tricky thing, because you cannot adapt this mindset if you haven't healed enough. Right? Because if you remove the observer element within you too soon, it's just denial. It's coming to my mind. But you have to reach enough level of consciousness to just allow life to flow through you, not understand everything, not learn from every single little element of your day. Just allow things to be. It's a complicated chessboard. Sometimes things just happen. Look at the bigger picture. Balance the sadness within you. Hold on. Sorry, I had to open the window because it's really warm in here. So maybe something happened that it made you really sad. You felt like you've lost in a situation, and that you couldn't balance these emotions within you, and in reality they just want you to allow things to happen. Not everything will be resolved. Not every situation will end up the way we want it to end up. When we close karmic contracts, it's important to close it on our end. Not every contract, there's a reason it's coming to my mind. There's a mystery to life, and not every contract will be closed, you guys, on a level of us and the other person. Sometimes we close it because we move on, we forgive, right? And the other person won't ever close it, and it's their thing. As long as we close it on our end, it's closed. I want to do a couple of these. Not these, hold on, I'm being guided to take the other ones. Just to get some clarity on what's going on for you, for this collective. I'm for whatever reason I'm hearing there's a reason maybe not. I wanted to say I have a feeling this is a family situation. But there's a reason I said divine feminine, divine masculine. So either you're mirroring and you're going through similar lessons right now, or you actually are being tested when it comes to the same emotion for both your masculine and for both we have holding back. This is a little bit of a guilt card. Should I have expressed myself better? We have neglected. I feel this may be a conflict with someone that made you feel neglected in life. That made you feel unseen, unheard. That you never could find the same, never be on the same page. And because now you're in this moment of healing, it's like maybe you're putting that finger on you. It's like, should I have expressed myself better? Maybe I could have played this situation a little bit better. There is a little bit of guilt. There is a little bit of crying for this collective. You would be sad. You would be upset. So again, don't make these details fit. It's important. You would feel guilty. You would have had recently a situation with you and someone. And we have happiness hater. It came to my mind that maybe you acted a little bit like this. I want to do another row, but maybe you've judged someone a little bit. There's a moment in a journey of healing, you guys, when we start to heal, when we start to release, when we choose a journey of solitude, when we choose a journey of healing, but we're not yet completely there at the other side of the bridge. So when we look at others, it's like, we have good intentions, right? We want them to heal as well. So we try to push them to follow the same road that we followed, but it might not be their lifetime. They may not be ready. It may not be their moment. Someone who's truly already healed and centered, just observe others in the sense of, my job is not, it's a healer wound to want to push everyone to heal and to be better. We don't know their journey. We don't know their path. Maybe they need to suffer a little. Maybe this is not their lifetime to go where we're venturing, right? I feel like maybe you've been pushing your ideas and your mindset or someone that you couldn't find yourself on the same page. You feel like they're not listening. Maybe you feel guilty. I want to do another row. I'm hearing so many things. There's confusion, but maybe there is a little bit of, maybe you have someone in your life that you love and you care about, and they're putting themselves in a karmic situation that you know it's going to end poorly. But if it has to happen, it has to happen. I want to do another row for clarity. Broken. Ego. Responsibilities. Indecisive. I'm hearing, to be honest, you guys, we're going to do tarot in a moment, your energy. There's a reason I said divine feminine, divine masculine. Maybe your person is going through something similar, or maybe you just need to know. I don't know. We're going to go with it, right? We're going to go with it. I feel like there's a lot going on for this collective right now, energetically. A lot of lessons. We are in a very intense window of opportunity leading to, it's 11/11, right, today. So this window is closing. Learn your lessons, break the patterns. I feel there's someone in your life, this collective, that you look at them and you know that they're making a mistake, that they're gonna hurt. But listen, we have sometimes soul contracts that we need to complete, and it's not a mistake. It has to happen. Maybe this person, you look at them from a place of ego, from a place of human being. Maybe they're your family. I'm hearing sister, maybe ditto for some of you. Maybe they're your family, they're your friend. Maybe even for some of you, it is that divine counterpart. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna, right? But if it's a soul contract, how else would they pay this karma? We feel like sometimes we want to save people we love from suffering, but they're actually getting an opportunity to clear out karma, to cleanse their soul. Who are you to judge this? This is why true spiritual teachers, true awakened ones, we're observer of life. There are people who will be ready to change, to be aware, to understand, and they will come to us. We never force our teachings onto anyone. We never force healing. You cannot. You cannot. Nor shouldn't you. It's the ego belief that there's good and evil in this world. There is no good and evil in this world. Everything is neutral. It's an illusion of the physical world. I talk about this all the time. We perceive it as evil because it carries pain, but it may be cathartic for our soul. It may be cleansing for our soul. I feel like you may be projecting a little bit your own wounds. Maybe in the past something similar happened to you, whether it's past of this life or past lifetime. It may be that you've said a little bit too much, or you found out about something that you feel guilty that you cannot save this person, but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. Maybe you are a little bit confused on what should you do. What should you do? I feel this person is choosing something that you wouldn't choose right now, right? So maybe they're staying in a relationship because of children, I'm hearing, or because of money as well. I'm hearing it may be both, but the reasons you wouldn't choose. But they might not be aware of this, you guys. This instance is crazy today. They might not be aware of this. They might actually think that they're in love and that you're not understanding. This reading went into a whole different direction. I want to tap into your energy, okay? I want to tap into your energy. How are you internally? Where's your energy? Where you're at right now? What we need to know. Did I want to take these? No, sorry, I wanted these. Ace of Wands. Fierceness. The Hanged Man. Five of Pentacles. Temperance. Alright. Ace of Wands. I feel like this is a bit of a fierceness card. You may be this collective, you may be in your moment. We all go through this, right? On a journey of healing. This moment of you've healed enough, you've learned enough, you've experienced enough to have certain wisdom in life, to know how to avoid. There's a moment, I always say this, most people learn in relationships because they're not self-aware enough and they need a mirror of other people, right? That's why they keep going through karmic relationships, whether that's romantic relationships, family ships, friendships. But once we heal, we can release all karmic contracts because now we are so self-aware of our own shadows, of our own shortcomings, of our own things, that we can start surrounding ourselves with our soul family and continue to heal in self-awareness because we're no longer afraid to face our demons, right? But this is going to be like 5, maybe 10% of population maximum, okay? The rest needs mirrors of other people and other situations to subconsciously learn. And rarely it's even a conscious lesson. Most people don't end up relationships like, oh, yes, it's been a lesson. I'm not going to do this ever again. But they get burned so many times that they like start to understand that it ain't good for me. Right? And you reach that point. And when you reach that point, you start to be fierce and you start to want others to be there. And you start to explain to people, you don't need to put yourself in the pain of a karmic relationship. You just have to learn your lesson. But they're not ready. They're not ready. And you have to surrender to it. Divine has a plan for all of us. Again, who are you to know better what's good for someone else? Maybe their biggest soul contract is to be with this person. Even if it's something that's going to bring a lot of pain. What from a human ego perspective would seem like a tragedy, but it has to happen. There's a deeper healing that needs to happen. There's a reason this is happening. I feel like it's a big lesson for you. You think like you're trying to rescue this person from a lesson of life, but it's actually a lesson for you. It's time to calm down. It's time to really understand what surrendering to the divine means. Surrendering to the divine, it's not just letting go and allowing time for good things to happen. Sometimes it means allowing pain. Allowing tears, allowing suffering, allowing loss. You're not seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing the misery of this person, right? But you're not seeing the purification of the soul that they will go through. The karma that they will release that maybe they have even with that specific soul. You need a different mindset. You need a bit of a more of a healing. 9 of Swords. I feel like you feel that you're guided to help this person, but it's your own shadow. It's your own projection. Maybe it's someone that you're very protective over, someone who is younger, someone, maybe ditto for some of you, it's coming to my mind. Someone you promise to protect. There's a lot of fire within you, this collective, right now. This dedication. I am hearing healer wound, to be honest. So examine that wound within you. It's a wound that, as healers, we have to be on point. And oftentimes we ignore it. We don't see it. We don't understand it for a very long time on this journey. All healers have healer wound that we have to... It's healer wound. I think I've done an in-depth video about healer wound. I'm pretty sure you're going to find it on my YouTube on healing and spirituality playlist, but it's about forcing that healing, not understanding that life has its flow and not everyone is ready in a specific lifetime for a spiritual healer, for a spiritual awakening. I feel that you're ignoring that, you're projecting your own wounds. Maybe this person is submitting themselves into something that you, 111 on a timer, that you have allowed in the past, be it this lifetime or another. Heartbreak, humiliation. There's an inner child as well. Maybe there are children involved in this situation, and you're not just wanting to avoid the suffering of this person, but the children that are involved, because you now understand the impact it will have on them. I understand, you guys, that it's so frustrating when we start to awaken and we start to heal and we start to understand, especially when you're meant to be healer, we start to understand and connect the dots and the consequence of how every little thing within our environment when we are children affects us. But remember, if it is that case, that child chose these parents for a reason, there's a lesson in it. You cannot save it because there's no saving. The soul of this child wants it. The ego will resist. The ego always resists. The ego wants to have love and money and live on a beautiful tropical island. But this is not why we come here. This is not why we come here. I feel like this situation is not allowing you to sleep, but without you realizing, these are your own demons. These are your own shadows. Your own heartbreak that you've never healed. Maybe it even is something that is activating what happened with your divine. Because there's a reason I went for divine feminine and divine masculine. I'm a little confused, to be honest, what to do now. I feel there's a masculine energy that is activated within you, the protective energy. It's like you want to be the protector of this person. But you guys, I've mentioned this, I mentioned this many times, right? I hear often that people who are in this stage where you are, right, especially women, we have this, we're all, at some level, we're all healers, right? That we get frustrated with women that choose poorly for themselves, right? And some women reach that point that they're like, if you're gonna stay with this man, don't come to me for advice. If you're gonna stay with this man that cheats on you or maybe even is abusive, don't, right? But who are you to say this? I mean, you can choose not to be close friends with someone who chooses something like that for their life, because there's no resonance, right? There's no resonance. So if you may choose not to continue your relationship with a friend as a every day see each other, because what the hell are you going to talk about when you're expanding your consciousness and they are on a level of lifetime when they still have to go for pain? So I get that, I understand that. But you have no right to say to someone, like, don't come to me. If you truly are a healer, the role of a healer is not to force someone to course correct, but it's to help someone to move through the painful soul contracts that they have to go through. And whether you want to believe it or not, some women, you cannot comprehend the path and the journey of life for everyone. Even when we're seers, we may see certain things, we may feel certain things, we may understand certain things, but you never know. Maybe this person is paying off a debt to that person because they've hurt them in freaking 5 past lifetimes. You may not know this, right? And there are people who will never meant to release themselves of pain in this lifetime. They're doomed in right. I say lightly because it may be a life of a cleanse for their soul, but they may have planned for themselves a life of pain, a life of lack of fulfillment, satisfaction, a lack of karma, a life of karma, right? So your job as a healer is not to take them out of there. It's a true healer. When we've healed that healer wound, we will really feel into this person is ready. So I need to give them a little nudge. I need to give them a little push. So because they have an opportunity to leave that situation, to close that contract. But sometimes we have to feel into it ain't going to happen in this lifetime. So I just need to be there. I just need to share messages of love, messages of, and some healers, maybe there's a reason you're going through this. Some healers, I always say this to you guys, we all have different missions, right? We all work with different types of people on different types of journey. Some of us were readers, some of us we use different crafts, divination tools, we have different psychic abilities, different gifts are activated within us, right? It's very individual. But maybe you are specifically meant to work with people one day who will not get out of that karmic contract. The part of the contract is the fact that it's going to last a lifetime. And you're just meant to help them to navigate. It's a lesson of humility. I'm a little bit, I do want to do, we're going to do your masculine as well, because there's a reason I said that, and I'm gonna leave this a little bit on the table. I want to do a couple of these. There's a reason I reached for these. So let's see where you are in your connection. Maybe it will all make sense to us. I just want 4. It's also, it's coming to my mind, our masculines, they go through, their path is to clear karma. So they have to put themselves in certain situations, and they do it in a moment we already know it's karmic, right? They go for karmic relationships, whether that's, one night stand connections or actual relationships. And the moment it happens, we know it's karmic, right? We know it has to happen. So part of being awakened and part of being a healer is sometimes to just know that certain things have to happen. You're not here to save the world. Bigger picture. Sandbox game. Okay, we have fall, September 22nd to November 6th, which is exactly now. So maybe those are the important days that something was shifting right now, that many things happen. I feel like you had a lot on your plate recently, this collective. So maybe in that fall season, again, September 22nd, November 6th, a lot of things were happening, a lot of lessons. We have new beginning, fresh start with an open mind, knowing where you lacked in the past and using it to create success, allowing yourself to accept challenges that may bring good things to you, but also to others. Challenges bring lessons. Sometimes our role as a healer is to look at other people, just like